It is clear skies as far as the eye can see here at Betts Stadium. Andrew, it is going to be a good game tonight. It is the 6-1 Lakota West Firebirds taking on the 3-4 Oakland Highlanders. Andrew, I know we've talked about it 100 times, but what are the keys headed into this game?
Well, obviously, there's a lot of big factors here tonight, but one of the biggest ones is Oak Hills. They've got two guys by the name of Max. Both of them have the name Max, and both of them are going to be outstanding players on the defensive and offensive side of the ball. You got Max Rhodes. I mean, he's just an absolute unit on that defensive side of the football. He has 5 sacks this year, 59 total tackles, and 9 tackles for loss. And then we look at Max Soup. He's a do-it-all type of guy, 7 touchdowns, 5 picks at the quarterback position. But then also you look at his rushing stats. He has 352 yards on the ground and 6 touchdowns. And he also can receive the ball too. So he's all those things he's really good at. But here going into this game, I really think the Firebirds, they're going to have to do a lot of what they've been doing this year, and that's building a lead early and just containing, possession of the ball for as long as they need to. And then also the passing attack tonight is going to be huge. Oak Hills, they rank last in the GMC in pass defense.
Obviously, this is relative, but relatively speaking, this should be a pretty easy game for Lakota West, seeing as we're one of the top teams in GMC, and Oak Hills is just, right in that below average spot. But like you said, a guy like Max Soup, he's done a lot for this team. We'll see what he can do tonight. Is a big hit right there from Lakota West. The swarm of defenders. What a play.
And Vincent Giordano finishing off the play with a little bit of a shot right there was Derek Edwards, the monster hit out of the backfield. And a quick start for the Firebirds here on this nice Friday evening here. But just nothing there on that handoff, and they lose 5 yards. But out here coming on this offense, it's going to be Max Soup. He's going to have to do it all here. There's not much else you can really get going. They've got some guys that can, get a lot of receptions there. Tyon Starr Jr. and Sifo Mkwanze. But, other than that, this Lakota West defense, who ranks first in the GMC, should have a pretty light day today with this Oak Hills offense.
Soup just trying to get past that line of scrimmage. He'll gain about a yard there, or a few. It'll be third and 13 coming up. But yeah, Soup, a guy who came in as the quarterback. It has been incredible. He came in for Brady Corman, but when you look at the stats, he's obviously got 221 receiving yards, which, you'd imagine pretty good receiver on its own, but then he comes in and plays quarterback. I mean, that is impressive to say the least. So we'll see what he can do here on 3rd and long. Lakota West, you mentioned it all year, they love these 3rd and longs. They have just been able to get a lot of pressure on them as that one cuts out to that left sideline. Nice play to get out of bounds, but won't be enough. That one to Sifo Mkwanze, one of those top guys you were mentioning.
And a good start there from the Lakota West defense. It all started with Derek Edwards with that huge hit on 1st down, and then it led to the 3 and out now, forcing that. And the Firebirds would get the ball back here with what looks to be great field position, especially with Reese Mason there back to return.
Reese Mason has just become one of my favorite players to watch. I mean, he does it all. He excels on defense, and the returning abilities have been incredible. Obviously, he splits this one with Barnett deep, and we will see a punt. Young boots that one away, and high flyer Mason going to receive. He's got room, cutting up field, making defenders miss. He's got more room, flag down, cutting up field to about the 25. There is a flag on the play. I'm imagining that's going to be on Lakota West.
But still, just a great return from Reese Mason. Like you said, one of the most favorite players to watch on this Firebird team, and he shows it right there. His speed and athleticism and his agility, his ability to break tackles and get out of tackles is just, otherworldly for this Lakota West special teams unit, as they are going to have another great field position here to start the game. Seems like a common theme throughout this Firebird season.
Yeah, for sure. And now we get to see this new look offense. They've done a great job all year. Got a lot of great running backs on the team, and it's really been a rushing team. And so going into it, you'd imagine, maybe Sam Wiles is not a great passer, but he's really been, outside of completion percentage, one of the most efficient passing quarterbacks in the league. He's got a 12% touchdown percentage. That is incredible. It's 4% higher than anybody else. Even JT Kitna, that top guy on Lakota East, as well as averaging the most yards per attempt, but having the least attempts in the GMC while still being third in passing. So we'll see what he does here as he'll take it himself. He's got a nice pair of legs as he takes that one. And a ball comes out on the first play of the offense. Oak Hill says they have it, and they do. So what a turn of events after a nice run for Lakota West. It's going to be a turnover, and that is Highlander ball.
And it just seems like every single time Lakota West starts these games against these teams that they should easily beat, there's always a quick turnover to start the drive. I mean, last week against Sycamore, there was that quick tipped interception. It just seems like this team starts slow sometimes, even though they really shouldn't be. I mean, a lot of these games you see they don't really do a lot on the first drive, and then they end up, putting themselves in a situation where they shouldn't be. So, it might be fine against these teams like Oak Hills, Sycamore, Coleraine, but when you're going up against Lakota East next week in that huge rivalry game, those mistakes are not going to be able to stay around.
I hope you're right as Soup takes that one up and falls forward for a few more. Nice play there. I'm going to say it again. I hope you're right because, we won 52-0 that game. So if all goes accordingly and we do that same outcome, we should come home with another win. But talk about momentum. You cannot start it off after a great defensive play.
And I love Max Soup keeping his legs driving, the ability to keep that play moving, even though it was kind of stuffed at the line. You can tell he definitely has a lot of heart, and he puts a lot of effort in this game. Obviously playing multiple positions isn't easy, but he's able to produce at every single position.
So that one will go up the gut. Fights for it for more, taking defenders with him, and that is an Highlander first down.
Tough run right there. Just an amazing run right there, a tough run, no gloves needed for Oak Hills right there. That was number 36. That was Owen Bronninger. An amazing, he's had a great year so far this year. 8.3 yards per carry. That is dangerous for any rush defense, even this Lakota West rush defense.
Low ball from Soup, and that's going to fall incomplete to his favorite target all year and one of the best in the GMC, Sifo Makwanzi, but just a low ball there. He's not the best passer. He gets the job done for sure, but definitely his game is the ground game, as we see the pattern with a lot of GMC quarterbacks.
And we talked about how Lakota West kind of has some of these slow starts early. It's not just the offensive side of the ball, though. It's also the defensive side. We saw last week Sycamore didn't amount to any points, but they got down the field fairly easily on that one of those first drives they had. Just, the field goal block made up for it when the Firebirds took it back for a touchdown. But during that drive, Levi Simpson was making all kinds of throws on this Lakota West defense. So for, this defense to get back here and get a stop right here would be huge because they want to turn the tide on some of these slow starts that they've been having. As it is 3rd and 7 here, Firebirds will look to get a stop here, force 4th down, maybe a field goal attempt. Not sure, though, with how far away they are.
For sure, on these 3rd and longs, we'll see what this West defense can pull up. They do a good job of fixing, any mistakes the offense do, but we'll see here as Soup tries to take it himself, makes some defenders miss. What a run right there.
And I'd imagine here you'd go for it on 4th down. You're in a 4th and short situation. It looks like they might be just maybe a yard here, especially with how close, with how, how much this game matters to you, with how good of an opponent Lakota West is. You're definitely going to want to be able to get a first down here and keep the drive going and try to get the ball in the end zone.
So we'll see what we can come up with here. It is 4th and 1. They are staying on the field. Soup in shotgun. He's got 2 backs. The receiver, Sifo, to his right. Flag comes out, drops the ball, picks it up, but there is nowhere to go as the West defense is there. But there is, in fact, a flag on the play.
There's a penalty flag on the field.
And it looks like it was a false start on Oak Hills. That penalty is declined, and Lakota West will retain possession an amazing stop there from the Firebird defense. Turnover on downs for Oak Hills. And that is just going to be a tough, tough break for the Highlanders as the Firebirds get a huge stop right there. And out comes this Firebird offense. So both offenses having some tough fumbles and big plays on their opening drive. Now we'll see how Lakota West can respond here as Wiles in that offense huddle up. I'd definitely look for some targets here. Definitely Luka Gilbert in that passing game, but any one of those, big threats on that receiving game could definitely do a good job for the Firebirds in that receiving game. Trey Barnett, Tyson Davis, any one of those guys as Wiles sets up here on first down for the Firebirds. And he'll give it to Johnson, and Johnson will have the outside. He'll be out for about a gain of about 4 yards there. Oak Hill's doing a good job here to push the ball, to the outside and make sure that Dakota West doesn't get too easy of plays. But still, it's going to be tough sledding tonight for this defense and that passing defense, which Dakota West is going to look to take care of. Wiles sets up in shotgun here. Johnson to his left. Gives it to Johnson, fakes the pass. Johnson on the outside. Johnson, he's got a crease, and there's a flag on the play. Not sure what it will be. Looks like it might be it will be on the offense. It'll be holding, and that'll bring them back 10 yards. So far, this offense struggling a little bit here. Oak Hill's doing a good job on defense, playing tough-minded, but that's not the start you want if you're the Firebirds. As, this has been these slow starts. They start to creep up on you when the games, get tougher. Obviously, tonight, it should not be that big of an issue unless Oak Hills continues to do it, which they definitely very well could. I mean, we saw Lakota East in that game against Coleraine last week in an absolute nail-biter in a game they really shouldn't have been. As there's a wide open Trey Barnett. What a throw from Wiles. Wide open Trey Barnett. And he's always open. And, it was second and long. It doesn't matter for the Firebirds. We've seen Wiles make those type of throws all season long. And he does right there to Barnett. And that'll be a first down. We see that broken coverage from the Oak Hills defense, which ranks 10th in the GMC. I mean, it is just not the best. 198 yards a game given up through the air by this defense. Wiles fakes. He looks down the field. He's got a man. It's Davis. And, he hits him. Davis inside the 10, down near the 5. What a play there from the Firebirds. And they are on the edge of scoring a touchdown here in their second possession here. And like I said pregame, it's going to be those throws down the field that win Lakota West this game. The Oak Hills defense, passing-wise, just simply isn't that good. But here you see the student section of Oak Hills rising up as the Firebirds are in the red zone. They give it off to Luka. Luka's got the edge, and Luka is just short of the end zone. He'll be inside the 1. Nice tackle there on the outside. It's not easy to take him down, but they are able to take him down there just short of the goal line. And it'll be second and very short for the Firebirds. Got to think Bolden is looking to put this one in the end zone here. I definitely assume on the ground, although Oak Hill's rushing defense is 4th in the GMC. We'll see what they do here. They give it off to Johnson, and Johnson easy does it as Braden Johnson just waltzes into the end zone. They got a hand on him, but it didn't matter. The Firebirds take a quick lead here in this first quarter of this GMC matchup on this beautiful Friday evening. Kofi Adubafor will try to put the extra point through, but a very impressive drive there. A lot of big-time throws from Wiles, and they punch it in with Johnson. And that's the type of drive you want to see from this Firebird offense. As Adubafor, he will put it up and put it right through past the student section, and that'll be 7-0. Your Firebirds take the lead. We will be right back here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting.
So we are having a few technical difficulties, unfortunately, but it has been an eventful first quarter so far. Already 14-0 for Lakota West. I mean, a couple big runs and then that big throw to Barnett, but I mean, it's been a big, big half. After that rough turnover, things are looking back to normal for this offense.
Yeah, I mean, we did miss a few of those plays on the commentary. On that drive that the Firebirds just had, an amazing drive orchestrated by Sam Wiles as he was able to get down the field, a huge rush that set up the easy touchdown. And, you know, now the Firebirds definitely in good position. They forced a punt for Oak Hills, and then they got themselves an easy touchdown. And now they are on defense once again, which they have played amazing tonight. You see Max Soupy lining up for Oak Hills.
We thank the Oak Hills PA for correcting our small issue with his name, but hopefully there's none others, but I'm sure there are. That one goes right up the middle. He's been a strong runner. That one going straight to Owen Bronninger. This has been a very dynamic run offense. Obviously, Max Supe has been a big aspect of it, but also Max Rhodes, the big linebacker, and then Owen Bronner. They've all done great jobs in that aspect.
Yeah, I think that the run offense is good, but they really lie in the passing offense. They are third in the GMC in passing offense. Really impressive for Oak Hills. They average 163 yards per game through the air and 7 yards per play through the air. So they are definitely one of those top teams in the GMC when it comes to throwing the ball down the field. Tonight, though, so far not doing too much in the passing game. I mean, this is just a tough secondary to go up against for any team in the GMC. And right now, for Oak Hills, they're third in the GMC passing offense, definitely being tested at a very high level right now with this amazing secondary of the Firebirds. Reese Mason, Finn Mason, Joel Drake, and Colin Ogletree, all amazing corners out there for the Firebirds. They've all made amazing plays this year, and you know, definitely this secondary has gotten better as the year has progressed.
13 total touchdowns for Supe on the year. We'll see what they can do there. There was also a blocked punt before we left, and there's that running ability, cutting up field. Not enough for that first down, but it will bring up fourth down.
And the Lakota West Firebirds, they've just played a really balanced game so far. I mean, last week against Sycamore, it was kind of a wild game, a lot of crazy plays. But tonight, it's just been, you know, a more laid-back beatdown for the Firebirds. I mean, if you want to call it that, it's just been a pretty, you know, they've just been able to kind of fly through this game. And it really just hasn't been much of a challenge so far. You know, they had that fumble to start the game, but other than that, I mean, it's been a really well-played game. And I think they just want to come in here and get out of here with a win quickly. And I think they will do that here as returning is Reese Mason.
He's got so dangerous. I mean, look at him go, cutting up field. That one could go all the way to the 15, the 10, and he is in.
What a play from Reese Mason. I mean, you talk about returning it into the end zone. Reese tearing them to pieces there on that return, and there was nothing Oak Hills could do. The speedster himself, Reese Mason, and I believe, is that his first returning touchdown of the season? It is.
Well, it depends what you count as return, as last week he had that blocked kick return for a touchdown. But, yes, it is his first punt return. I mean, he looks like a gazelle out there the way she's so shifty. I mean, he has 2 touchdowns on the field, and he doesn't even play on offense. That is incredible.
Yeah, you can tell he is definitely the legs of this team, the ability for him to run right down the field and use his legs. And he's also able to cover very well. I mean, he just does everything this team needs him to do on the defensive and special team side of the ball. I do before to put it through the uprights, and he does as it goes right over the student section. And that'll be 21-0 here for the West Side.
Well, Reese Mason has been incredible this year, but really both Mason brothers, as Finn Mason also, the twins, they've done an incredible job all season. 39 combined tackles, 2 interceptions, and 9 pass defended. I mean, that is incredible numbers for a duo. I mean, the chemistry from those two has just been incredible.
It really has, and I mean, all year the chemistry of this team has increased, and it continues to do so here tonight. The Firebirds lead 21-0. We thought this game could potentially be a trap game, maybe looking ahead to East next week, but no, it just has not been. I mean, 21-0 through the first quarter, and it looks like the Firebirds are going to have another easy night, spoiling homecoming night here for the Highlanders tonight. I mean, Oak Hills, it is definitely a great location to play football, I will say that, but tonight, Lakota West is coming here, and they've shown, who they are.
And don't even mention that East game. You're getting me too excited. That is going to go down in the books. But we're talking about the past. I mean, 59-7 victory last year. Here's a stat. Since 2004, which is all they have listed on the GMC website, Oak Hills has beat Lakota West 1 time.
I mean, just crazy stuff. Talk about a one-sided rivalry. I mean, Lakota West, just dominance. And even without Bolden, still able to take down Oak Hills. But I do want to give a shout-out to Oak Hills head coach Justin Roden. I mean, he took this team that was 0-11 in 2021 and brought them 5 wins in the year of 2022, winning him GMC Coach of the Year. An incredible accolade to win for Roden. And, with this team, he's definitely tried to make them a team that definitely picks it up in the latter half of the season. As these past 2 years, this team has started 2-5, and each of those years they've won the last 3 games on their schedule in the regular season. So definitely something to keep an eye on as this season nears its end here in the GMC.
Soupy had nowhere to go as Cam Thomas was right there to blow it up, but there is a flag down. It came very late. I'm not sure quite who that was on, but definitely was a late flag. So I would imagine it's some kind of roughing. I heard some shouts as well, so that's what I thought. But speaking of Cam Thomas, that one is going to be roughing the passer personal foul, on the Highlanders. So even better for Lakota West. But speaking of Cam Thomas, he's been spectacular this year. I mean, two interceptions and forced fumbles. He had 1 of each, and then 7.5 tackles for a loss. And 32 total tackles. He's been incredible.
Yeah, and you talk about also that interception he had against Princeton that really shifted that game. So he's definitely a game changer for the Firebirds. Someone to keep an eye on as this season, comes down the stretch. And I definitely think he'll make his presence known against Lakota East. And that tough passing attack with JT Kitt on that offense, I mean, I cannot wait to see how this Firebird defense plays in that game. It'll be packed out in Firebird Stadium, and they just have to take care of business tonight, and they will be, on a huge win streak heading into that game, definitely feeling really good about themselves.
3rd and 18, quick pass out there to Eli Philpott, but just not able to pull that one. I expect a big game from Cam Thomas. Last year, he had an interception, which helped them win that game, and that was as a sophomore, and he has only gotten better since then.
Yeah, Cam Thomas is just simply a phenomenal player. You don't see too many like him. The athleticism, the ability to just dominate that defensive side of the ball. There's so many players. I mean, we could talk for hours and hours about that defensive line and the linebacking core and the corner. I mean, everyone does their job on that defense, and Coach Bolden and this staff have done a great job shaping this team. Yeah, and as there's a flag, looks like it'll be a false start, and it'll bring them back. But we also forgot to talk about another play we did miss was that blocked punt, which set up the Firebirds in great field position. We did miss that play. We do apologize. But that was a huge play there for Lakota West. And looking like if they get one here, they could return that thing all the way.
People really underlook special teams. I mean, it should prove everything tonight as there was a flag there. But the special teams tonight has been incredible as that one's bobbled. Terrible punt. That's going to go less than 10 yards. And look at that. I think Joel Drake didn't even know where that ball was. He was looking around for it, but it popped right next to him. What field position inside the 20 for Lakota West.
And it looks like the Firebirds might put 4 touchdowns in here before the end of the first quarter. I mean, other than that fumble, there hasn't been anything going wrong tonight for the Firebirds. It's been this way all season, and you think maybe, when are they going to start slowing down? When are they going to show signs of weakness? I mean, they just haven't, and they simply won't. This is a team that this is one of their most talented teams I think they've ever had, and they continue to show every week. It's going to take a lot to take them down.
That 2022 version of this team, I mean, I was there for almost every single game. It was incredible to watch, but it's a different team now, but I think they could compete with them for sure.
Yeah, I think this team, when you compare it to that 2022 team, a lot more well-rounded. As they give it to Davis. Davis has a lane. Davis is still going.
There was a flag down. It was in the backfield.
That one looks like it's going to come back. It'll be holding on the offense. Not what you want if you are Lakota West. But,
I mean, I've seen this holding plenty of times. I think Wiles can make anything happen on his legs and through the air, so we'll see what he can do here.
I mean, yeah, we saw on 2nd and 15 on their first touchdown drive, he dropped a dime in the basket to Trey Barnett for an easy first down pickup. So I definitely look to see something down the field here. Can't stress it enough. This Oak Hill's passing defense just not very good, and the Lakota West passing offense, it has been it's been good, but it could definitely have been better. I think with all their rushing offense, it's kind of overlooking the passing offense, which I think is definitely still a big part of this offense and something you definitely want to still have if your rushing offense isn't at its best. As there's a timeout on the field, and we will return here after a short break here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting.
We return. Wiles throws that one out to Barnett. Barnett gets a nice gain there to bring up 2nd down. Those are some nice pickup of yards as this one winds down, clock down to 28.
And it looks like the Firebirds will most likely just take this one at the end of the first quarter. I mean, they've already imposed their will enough, and it looks like it'll be a pretty easy night, and the starters might be able to take a rest in the second half, but we'll see what they can do here as they will snap it before the end of the first quarter. They'll get out to Johnson wide open, and Easy does it as he takes it right down the throats of the Oak Hill secondary inside the 1-yard line, and the Firebirds will set up for another easy goal line scenario.
They're trying to go fast, but they're not going to get this one as it winds down. Oh, he got out of bounds, so this one will be stopped, and we'll see one more play.
One more play here to try to put them up 4 scores before the end of the first quarter. That is just absurd, especially for this being Oak Hill's homecoming game. But they will wind the clock down to zeros on the clock, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter here. Firebirds up 3 touchdowns on Lakota West Student Broadcasting.
So we will switch sides with a new set of 12 minutes. Lakota West on 1st and 1. It's going to be a short game. We'll see what they can do here.
I assume they just give it off to Johnson here or something like that. They do give it to Johnson, and he waltzes in another easy, and I mean easy, Lakota West touchdown. How about that for the Firebirds? 27-0. And it has really been just a absolute beatdown here in this first half. Firebirds flexing their muscles. Braden Johnson, obviously the short yardage back, able to just walk right in. He's great in those short yardage scenarios, whereas Kenyon Norman, more of an explosive back. But the Firebirds, Jake Seats out there to kick this PAT and hopefully put the Firebirds up 28-0, and he does. And that will bring us to 28-0 Firebirds here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting.
As we return, the score is not wrong. It is, in fact, 28-0. Obviously, Lakota West coming into this game was expected to win, but, I mean, 28-0 after just 12 minutes and 5 seconds of game time, that is different.
So you see here, Oak Hill's returning it. They will field it. They take it out. A pretty nice return. A flag comes flying in, and something went wrong as this Firebird defense just continues to play amazing. Everyone on that D-line, you know, Vincent Giordano, Braden Zerlinden, Dylan Skelton, all those guys out there right now. I mean, just an amazing up front right there for the Firebirds. They've been amazing all year. And we'll see if they can continue that here as Oak Hills, I mean, they are reeling right now. I mean, even Sycamore, they put up more of a fight than this right now than we're seeing. I mean, Oak Hill's definitely, you can't knock them for their effort. They have definitely shown effort in this game, but right now the talent levels of each team is definitely showing, and Oak Hill, or Lakota West is definitely showing they are the more talented team. And, you know, it's just tough for Oak Hills, but definitely want to see Max Soupy and, you know, this offense get some reps here, see what they can get going as the handoff goes right down the middle, and there's nothing doing there. I mean, absolutely nothing doing. Grant Bierman comes in with a stop as the Firebirds here will stop him for no gain. Oak Hills huddles up looking to see what they might be able to do here to get their offense going. I'd look to maybe take a shot. You haven't done it all game, but you haven't really had time as this Lakota West defensive line has just been everywhere. See what Soupy does here. Shotgun, no backs in the backfield. He gets it out quick. It's a quick strike. Nice little run after the catch. He'll get him maybe 3. And it'll bring up another 3rd and long here for Oak Hills. Lakota West trying to continue to up this score, maybe get a running clock for the second half. It's crazy to say that we're only a minute and 20 seconds into the second quarter, and we're already talking about running clocks. I mean, it's just been absolute domination from the opening kickoff. Firebirds showing why they, you know, are a team to watch out for. But Soupy will go in shotgun. He motions a man out to his left. He rolls right, throws, and it's a throw on the money and a first down for Oak Hills. Really nice throw there from Max Soupy. And he gets it complete, and that will bring up a new set of downs here. Moving the chains. You got to give a lot of credit and respect to this student section for Oak Hills for showing out tonight in the pink out. Obviously for Cancer Awareness Month here in October. And it has been a very good month so far. October is always a great month, but this one definitely been another great month here as a timeout on the field. That will bring us to another break here. Firebirds up 28-0. See what they can do here in the second quarter on Lakota West Student Broadcasting.
As we return, it is 28-0 with just 10:16 left in the second quarter. Max Soupy trying to get something going on 1st and 10.
Soupy drops back. He's looking downfield. He takes it himself, and he'll pick up a gain of a couple.
Number 1, Max Soupy, the ball carrier.
Bring up second down here as this second quarter continues to run its clock. Oak Hills see if they can get a drive going here. They got a first down on that last play. Nice pass from Soupy on the sideline. Would love to see some more offensive attacks here. But Lakota West defensively, just a tough team to go up against. I mean, no one wants to play them. And they're showing why their pass defense does rank first in the GMC. They only give up 62 yards per game. I mean, that is just an unreal stat. As Soupy fumbles the snap, he takes it back. He's looking to run. He's making a move. Gets outside, and he goes way, way, way back. Not the play you want for the Highlanders. After getting their first down, they will not be able to get much there as there looks to be an injury timeout or something of that sort here. Scratch that. We are back here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting. 3rd and 18. New quarterback in for Oak Hills. He slings it out on the sideline, and that'll be a pickup of about 2 or 3, and it'll bring up another punt for Oak Hills, and punts have not been kind to them so far tonight. They've had 2 punts, or they've had a punt get blocked and 1 punt just completely fall flat, which led to 2 Lakota West touchdowns, and looking like Lakota West might get another one here.
So here we go on the punt.
Number 12, Lincoln Stripe, number 2.
Oak Hills Wise, their punter with the name of Anthony Young. He's done a decent job, but this game it has definitely been a struggle for him. So that one bounces, nice bounce.
Hits their own man, though. Looks like it hit Oak Hill's own player, and Lakota West, though, will get the ball back in fairly good field position for Wiles in this offense. I mean, any field position is good field position for this offense. But,
you know, it's great field position, but, I mean, Oak Hills, I think they're just happy it's not in their own territory. I mean, it has been a rough time for this defense.
And field position, we haven't talked about it a lot, but it has played a huge factor. I feel like in every single Lakota West game this year, they always start with the ball near, like, in better field position than their opponent. And I think that's definitely been a huge factor in them winning games. I mean, you look at every single time on Oak Hills, they get the ball, they're deep in their own territory. But whenever Lakota West gets the ball, they're in good position. And I think that just really speaks to the volume of how this game has just been very one-sided. When you can control the field position, you can really control how the game is played, and that's what the Firebirds have done here tonight. As there's holding on the offense on that carry, it was to Kenyon Norman to bring it back 10 yards for Lakota West.
This has been one of the only things this really whole team has struggled with. It's just been penalties. I mean, they haven't really affected against teams like Sycamore and Oak Hills and Coleraine, but if you play in the playoffs, a team like Princeton you lost to earlier this year, or Moeller or St. X, or even Lakota East, I mean, you cannot be making these mental errors, and the talent, while there's a lot there, it's not going to be able to bail you out every time, as now it's going to be 1st and 20. So Wiles, shotgun snap, looking, pressure coming, gets it out to Johnson. Johnson takes a man down as he gets about 10 on that one to bring up 2nd down.
What an amazing truck there from Johnson. He's definitely one of the more hard-hitting backs, whereas Norman, more explosive and, just a great play right there, lowering his shoulder and getting the first, or near the 1st down. So it'll be 2nd and 10. He gets half of it back, but, looking here as this game continues to move on, I think, you got to think the Firebirds will look to sit Sam Wiles for the 2nd half if they continue to dominate like they are. As the give on the right side to Trey Barnett, he gets strapped up. Good defensive play there from Oak Hills. It'll bring up a 3rd and fairly long here for the Firebirds.
Nice run there to bring up 3rd and a lot more manageable than 20. I mean, we'll see what they can do here, but this has been a high-flying offense. I mean, when you're near that 50-yard line, Andrew, if they don't get it here, do you go for it or just, punt that one away?
I got to think, I mean, if I know Coach Bowden, I know he's going for this. It doesn't matter where he is. He knows his offense is capable of getting that 1st down, and he wants to put this thing out of reach for Oak Hills. He doesn't want to give them a chance at coming back. As Wiles fakes, he takes it himself, and he will pick up the 1st down. A nice run right there from Wiles right down the seams, and another easy 1st down for the Firebirds as Oak Hills struggling on defense. They had that 10-yard penalty, and it didn't even matter as Lakota West gets right down for an easy 1st down.
We'll see what they can do here on a new set of downs. I guess they don't need to go for it there. Bit of a student section there. You can see it on that top right corner of your screen. Not easy coming out here to Oak Hills. Pretty far drive for most people, but we'll see what Wiles can do. Empty backfield set. Looking. Great protection. He's got room to run. There is a spy, but he can take it all he wants as he takes that one and slides down near just shy of the 1st down.
And Sam Wiles, with all the talent he has around him, you got to think he has one of the most, fun jobs on this team. He just, facilitates and takes it himself. With all that talent he has, it's hard to fail in this offense, and he has done the opposite of fail. I mean, he's done everything he needs to do and more. And he's also, even with all the talent around him, he's still been that standout player on this offense. I will say he's probably been the best player offensively for this team this year. But it's not about the player, it's about the team, and overall the team offense has just been amazing.
So here we go on 1st and 10. He did end up getting that 1st down. He'll take it himself again, and he is going to drag a defender with him. Finally broken down there at the end of the play by Max Rhodes, who has been incredible this season.
Yeah, and a nice run right up the middle. Lakota West continuing to impose their will with Wiles in that run game, and obviously Johnson and Norman, and, I mean, so much more players. Tyson Davis, Trey Barnett, the list goes on.
I mean, you even have LaShawn Williams backing up as that 3rd-string running back.
You can't forget Luca Gilbert. He's hard to miss as they give to the left side for Norman.
So that'll bring up 2nd down. This has been the offense I think they want, just running up the field and doing what there needs to do.
Yeah, I think they've just played a really outstanding game. Not much else can really be said, as they will look to continue that domination here late in the first half. About 4 minutes to go before we head to break.
Lakota West, I mean, first in points with 37 and allowing under a touchdown a game. That is incredible. Not much Oak Hills can do there as the screen pass set up to Barnett. Barnett shakes a man, got the first down and more, and he's into the end zone. West says it's a touchdown, and it is. So another touchdown for this offense, and if you're looking for that running clock, you got it right there.
Yeah, just you can't really say too much. I mean, there's just nothing negative to say about this team right now. They've done everything you can ask them to do, and more than that. And Trey Barnett continues to have his breakout season. He definitely struggled a lot last year, splitting reps with Brendan Remy and just not getting a lot of targets. But this year, he has broken out, and he's definitely been one of those top 3 options in the receiving game for the Firebirds.
So we'll see the kick from Adubafor as it is up and good. I would call him the best kicker in the GMC, and he is proving his point here tonight. It is 5 of 5 on extra points, 35-0 in the first half. Lakota West looking to add to it. Oak Hills just looking to get some points on the board. So a dominant first half performance for Lakota West on all sides of the ball, including special teams, has made a big impact, and we'll see some more right here.
Yeah, for Oak Hills, definitely a tough week tonight. But, you're just looking to get back on track and get your season back on track here in the second half, just playing for a lot of pride. There's not really much of an opportunity to come back here, but definitely an opportunity to see how your team responds to adversity. I think it's the biggest thing in games like these.
Yeah, and you mentioned it earlier. I'm not sure if you've already said it here tonight, but last 2 seasons starting 2-5 and finishing 5-5. So definitely a second half of the season kind of team, as it's looking like they're going to fall to 3-5 here. And we'll see if they can maybe end the season a little better.
Yeah, and they do play a game against Fairfield next week. I think that's going to be a really good matchup. I think both of those 2 teams are kind of evenly matched. They're coming off a game where they played Princeton fairly close for how good Princeton is. But tonight, Lakota West has definitely shown, why they are so dominant and ranked so high in those rankings. But losing last week to Princeton 23-10, a tough game. Princeton bounced back after that, absolutely absurd loss they took to Hamilton. And Oak Hills looking to bounce back next game, as they don't want this losing streak to last too long.
So here we go on 2nd and 8 after the 2-yard carry. Max Supe in shotgun. He'll give that one. It's tipped up in the air by Cam Thomas. He has been one of those top defenders on West. Obviously, this whole defense just plays as one big, very strong unit. But him specifically, I mean, as just a junior, he's making an impact, and he's only going to get better.
Yeah, he's an absolute game wrecker in every facet that you need him to be. And, I mean, there's not much else you can really say. You've said everything I've been thinking about Cam Thomas, the ability for him to just, see the gaps and find, where the defense might be lacking and just absolutely, elevate his game and stop the defense from lacking. It's a 3rd and 8 here.
Supe looking, rolling out to his left. He's got room to run. Decides to throw it. He's going deep. He's looking. Tipped off the hands right there on the offense. That one was Eli Philpott, and then off the head of Colin Ogletree. That would have been an impressive interception. He pulled that in. What a throw by Max Supe. I mean, he had his receiver, just wasn't able to pull it in.
That was an absolute dime. Are you kidding me? On the run, on his left, or running to his left, throwing with his right across his body, all the way down. I thought he was just going to his man that was right here. I thought he overthrew away, and then I realized there was a receiver behind him. Colin Ogletree, great coverage. Not much you can do. Fell just right through his hands. But that was an absolute dime. And I've seen, a lot, I will say this, Lakota West, it's tough when you have to play against them. But when I'm looking at these quarterbacks that Lakota West is playing against, I don't look at their stats mainly. I look at how they, perform in the actual game. And what I've seen from Supe tonight has been very impressive. That throw, it won't go down in the stat sheet as anything, but I mean, if you're a scout or anyone looking at that, that's something that you definitely want. I mean, just an insane throw, and Supe showing off his arm there to get it down the field, just unable to come up with the reception.
So with 2:50 left, Lakota West has plenty of time to maybe score another one. I mean, 42 points and a half. I think that would be 3 straight weeks of doing that. I could be wrong, but I think we had 42 last week against Sycamore and against Coleraine.
Pretty sure, yeah. I think we had 45 and 45 in these past 2 weeks at half. I mean, just absurd stuff.
But we'll see. I mean, this offense has been incredible. Not sure why they called a timeout there. If I'm West, I'm maybe looking. We might see some fake out. Just got to make sure we don't see anything of that sort.
But, definitely what you want to do is continue to keep your pedal on the gas, and then at halftime, let your bench guys come in, get some playing time, and just enjoy the rest of your night here at Oak Hills.
And after your low punt, that one's going to dribble like a raindrop down to the 30, down to the 27. What a punt right there by Young.
Looks like there was a flag, though. It was a good punt. Wasn't very high in the air, but it had the distance. It'll be on Oak Hills, and that's unfortunate.
But what West has done in the last few weeks offensively has been incredible. I mean, this offense, after the first couple weeks, there were some questions. St. X and Princeton, obviously incredible teams on the defense specifically. But after that last the week against Princeton, I mean, they have not looked back. Of course, Hamilton was a destruction. Coleraine, Middletown, Sycamore, Oak Hills tonight. It has just been nonstop for this team.
And don't forget that Fairfield game, too. Just nonstop destruction for this Firebird group. That win against St. X is looking a lot better as well, as the Bombers have had a pretty successful year with Chase Herbstreit at the helm. But definitely here, the Firebirds looking to continue to add on to that score, try to continue that trend of scoring more than 40 in the first half.
What's so incredible with what Wiles has done so far this season is, at least, against Middletown and Sycamore and Coleraine, I mean, all these teams, he leaves for the second half. So all these stats you're seeing, that is first half stats, as we see right there, the pitch to Johnson. Johnson with the big hit to the 50 as he stares him down after the play. What a hit right there.
Yeah, Braden Johnson is going to take a lot of hits. He's just that type of runner. Said it a million times, but I'm going to say it again. And he just continues to show his ability to get off tackles and lower his shoulder and take as many hits as he wants.
Kane Powell has been no slouch this season himself, but, I mean, when you're facing a runner like Braden Johnson, he has so many touchdowns this season. Not much you can do there. So we'll see Wiles give that one fake to Johnson, give that one to Norman. Norman cutting off field with his speed inside the 35. Clock down to 2:20. Nice
Kenyon Norman showing his explosiveness as he, just a quick runner. Reminds you, kind of a guy, along the lines of, kind of a running back, Ashton Ginty, one of those guys in college. I'm sure if you've watched college football this year, you've seen him, but he's just a guy that's able to receive and run it.
Wiles took a big hit after that play. He seems to be okay, but that one just over Lucas' head. I think sometimes we overestimate how tall he really is. He's definitely had a lot of balls thrown over his head, and I think Wiles' mindset is, I mean, he's 6'8". He should be able to get it, but just a little high there. no issue as it's still 2nd and 10 with 2 minutes left. Plenty of time and downs to get down the field as he has 4 guys wide and Johnson in the backfield. 5 blockers. Snap. Looking. Quick throw to Gilbert. Recovery. First down. Fighting inside the 25-yard line with the catch and run.
And Luka Gilbert is just so tough to take down. It doesn't matter. I mean, it just doesn't matter. Anything you do, he's going to at least pick up a few more yards after he's hit on first contact. It's just how big he is. He's so tough to take down, and it's what makes him such a threat in that passing game as a tight end.
So we'll see Wiles in shotgun. Johnson's a help extra blocker. Looking deep, nearly intercepted right there. That one is lucky for this offense. That was Jayshawn Dorsey almost got that one.
Yeah, he took a shot to the end zone. I liked the decision. I didn't really like the placement, though, too much as he threw it kind of near the defender. And, you know, the defender was still able to, not able to make a play on it, but, you know, still not the greatest throw from Wiles. He has a chance to recover here, though, on 2nd down, 1:37 remaining in the half.
Yeah, no problem there. Just needs a quick makeover as that one goes to Johnson. He's got a first down and more. Flags fly, cutting across the field, and he's in to the end zone. Now there is a flag down.
But Braden Johnson giving Wiles the makeover he needed. But there will be a flag.
We'll see what the call is.
Might need another makeover here as that flag brings him back.
He's pointing to Oak Hills, and it's going to be on West, an illegal man downfield. That's unfortunate, as that was a great play by Braden Johnson. So it'll be 2nd and 15 now after that penalty.
Yeah, and I mean, just a nice screenplay there to get Johnson out in the backfield, and he takes it himself. And just a tough break for West, but we've seen those penalties all season. It hasn't really affected them much in the win-loss column. I mean, it did against Princeton, but it's something that you want to clean up, and Bolden has definitely told them, you can tell.
Wiles looking downfield, holding on the backfield. This is going to be a free play, and it's up and incomplete to Tyson Davis, one of Sam Wiles' favorite targets deep. I saw that one from a mile away. It is going to be holding on that left outside player. Unfortunate, but wouldn't have mattered anyway.
And another holding call for this offense. I mean, just pushing them back. How far can they go? I'm not sure, but it was a great throw in the back of the end zone. Just couldn't come up with a catch. It was good coverage by the Oak Hills defense. And now Lakota West, we've seen them in these deep, positions where they don't know, how they're going to be able to get downfield. But you got to trust in Sam Wiles. He's been able to make plays with his legs and with his arm all season long, so we'll see what he can do here.
It is 2nd and 25 after multiple penalties. There's been a lot on this drive.
And it looks like
timeout for
a timeout
Oak
will be
Hills.
called. We'll talk things over. We'll be back here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting.
We are just a few miles away from CVG Airport as it is 2nd and 25 for Lakota West. Andrew, what is the call here if you are Sam Wiles in this offense?
I think you just got to let Wiles run with it here or do something with his legs to get him out in space and maybe throw it downfield as he has an open man, and it's
That's
Trey Barnett.
That is a great throw over the middle And that is definitely what you want to see from, the offense, and especially from Wiles, just pushing that one downfield. It's definitely been something you don't see too often. Maybe it's just because you don't need it. But, yeah, definitely not something you see too much, is just forcing it downfield. It has been a chip you away type of offense. But nice throw there to bring up third and a little bit less at 13. So he's got Johnson to his right. There are 3 wide receivers outside. Looking, making men miss. D-line to the end zone. He's got Luca, but it's just over and out of grass for Luca Gilbert.
It was a pretty nice throw there, but just good coverage. Thought he might have ran with it there. That might have been the better decision, but unable to. And I think going back to this passing offense for the Firebirds, I think something that they need to kind of get back into is being more of a two-dimensional offense. In that one game where they lost this season, Wiles just had nothing going on the ground, and they stuck to it, which is good. You want to stick to the ground game, but at some point you got to be able to open it up for more options, especially passing the ball down the field.
So from the 25-yard line, add 17. That's 42 yards. West does call timeout, but I was going to mention how this is my favorite part of the game, just seeing what Kofi Dubois can do with his leg. I would say he's the best kicker in the league, but looking on the other side of the ball, Oak Hills has a guy of their own. His name, of course, being Jackson Dorsal. He has not missed a kick or extra point all season, but his long is just 36, while Kofi Dubois, on the other hand, has a longer one, just shy at 45, which is incredible for a junior.
Yeah, both of these kickers very talented. I would call, both of these schools definitely the kicking programs of the GMC. They produce good kickers, and, it's shown on the football field. But tonight, neither team has put a kick through the uprights for a field goal, so we'll see here if Lakota West can be the first team to do that. It is a pretty far kick here. Looks to be about 42 yards, so just 3 yards shy of Kofi Dubois' personal best kick on the season.
This is no slouch. The kick is up, nearly blocked. It has the range, and it is good. 42 yards. Well, Andrew, we are not going to get that 40 bomb you were looking for, but we will get 38. I guess I shouldn't speak too soon with how good this defense is. There are 29 seconds left in this first half. It is 38-0 Lakota West. So as we return with 27 seconds left, Andrew, what has gone wrong for Oak Hills? The score speaks for itself, but, what specifically has gone wrong?
I think the biggest problem for them is just, they haven't been able to get the ball down the field, and they haven't been able to stop Lakota West from getting the ball down the field on their side. So it's really been the passing defense, which I think obviously coming to this game was definitely their weakness, and it still has shown as their weakness. But definitely just, not being able to stop their best playmakers. And it's really, on the line of scrimmage, Lakota West has had a lot of holding penalties, so it hasn't really been much of that. It's more just been Lakota West has so much more speed. Oak Hills just isn't able to contain with it. I like how Oak Hills, their offensive line, their defensive line have played it. It just comes down to the fact that Lakota West secondary and receivers are much, much more talented and fast than Oak Hills.
That one is dropped behind the line. Nowhere to go. Vincent Giordano plugging up that hole.
And that will bring us what seems to be to halftime on this beautiful night here. The moon shining bright. here on this Lakota West student broadcast.
Make sure you go check out the Lakota West Press. They are releasing articles today, so get ready for that. That is they're fun articles down there, as well as the highlight reel that yours truly, Andrew Rodel, has done all by himself. Look for a couple more to come out in the near future, but go get a drink, get a snack, go to the bathroom, do whatever it is you got to do, but be back for this second half of Firebird football here on Lakota West Student Broadcast. So we will return. It is 38-0. That is your score entering the second half, so we will have a running clock. But Ann West gets the second half return. Andrew, what has gone wrong for Oak Hills that has resulted with 38 points for Lakota West?
Well, it's really been the speed of Lakota West that has just outran them.
Short one to Barnett.
As a lane.
Bad decision. They tried to cut it short. He's got one man to beat. The shove out of bounds inside the 15, Andrew. I was expecting one to go back, and we could talk about that first half, but Barnett putting on a show even with a running clock.
And like I said, the struggles have been in the speed. They are getting outpaced in every facet of the game. Just right down the middle. Amazing blocking from Lakota West, and an easy pickup right there for the Firebirds.
So we'll see what this offense can do, I'd imagine, and it will be Jackson Smith. You know, if you're going to be a backup quarterback, this is the team to be on because you are going to get a lot of reps.
Yeah, Smith coming in, he's one of those guys that can, you know, is going to use his legs a lot here. You're not going to see him throw a lot. Bolden doesn't like him throwing the ball a lot in these situations as they just want to get through the game. But he will show off, you know, his ability to just manage the game, as said before, gives it out to the outside.
Not going to go anywhere. Oak Hills defense all over that. So bring up second.
And, you know, as I said, Oak Hills, their struggles have not really been in the trenches. It's been more in the outside and the speed. Lakota West is just way faster and way more athletic on the outside. When they hit the edge, you know, they are just not able to, you know, take them down because of that speed and the ability to do anything on the outside.
For sure, so we'll see what he does here on second down. I want to see some passes from him to get him comfortable with that style of game, but you won't see it there. It's definitely, they're trying to obviously get through the game, but for Jackson Smith's sake, I just want to see him, you know, sling it, because that was obviously the trouble 2 years ago that resulted in him, you know, being benched for Sam Wiles in the first place. And so we can see him, you know, in these low-stakes situations, get some passes, and that would be incredible for his progression.
And at 3rd and 6 here, maybe we do get to see Jackson Smith drop back here for a pass. I'd be very surprised to see it, but definitely be fun to watch him get some reps in that passing game. We haven't seen much of it yet, and he will be most likely the starter next year, so we'll have to see him get some experience here.
On 3rd and 6, he's going to take it himself up the field. He's got legs down to the end zone, call on the field.
He'll be just short.
I don't know. I think that one was in. I might be a little biased, but I saw the ball just past that plane, but refs see otherwise.
Not sure. It looked like his knee might have touched the ground before he was able to reach the ball out, but regardless, they're going go right now.
Smith takes himself. Looked like a bit of a bobble. Is that one? I don't think that one got it. Good stop from that Oak Hills
and again,
front seven.
Oak Hills front seven has played pretty well tonight, but I mean, just not able to stop the run once Lakota West hits the edge. As Smith sets up in shotgun here.
It is 2nd and 1. You would imagine a pistol, but they won't have it. Norman up the gut, and he is into the end zone. I see no flags on the play, and that is going to be 44-45, barring any extra point miss.
An amazing just blocking right there, and they get Norman an easy short yardage situation. Too simple there for the Firebirds, too easy for the Oak Hills defense to allow that. And Lakota West pouring it on here, doing everything they set out to do when they came here tonight.
So we'll see Seitz put this one up instead of his counterpart, Adubafor. It is up, and it is good. So it is 45-0 here at Oak Hills Arena. You know, it's been a terrible game for them, but great game for Lakota West, playing spoiler for their homecoming game here on Lakota West Student Broadcast. So with a 45-0 score for Lakota West, looking to pitch another shutout. Got to respect the Oak Hills fans in that background. Probably can't hear them over some of the other crowd noise, but they are definitely getting some cheers on, and have done a pretty good job here for that homecoming game.
Yeah, they've done an amazing job showing out for their team, but, just not able to get the win tonight for Oak Hills, going up against such a tough opponent. It sucks that it had to be this way for them, but, you love to see, everyone, this place is still one of the liveliest places in Cincinnati right now. Just so many people here came out to support their team, and, we got a little miniature football game happening on the other field, and there's so many different festivities happening tonight here at this football game.
Oak Hills has definitely done their job as Supe rolls out, going to take it himself as he'll just waltz out of bounds for a second down.
But, again, Supe, we saw him with that amazing throw he had to hit his man. He just wasn't able to come up with the catch, but he's still, he's been pretty accurate so far tonight. He just needs to continue to show his ability to escape the pocket and get out. And if his line can get him blocking, Oak Hills might be able to produce something here, try to get some points on the board.
Yeah, what I really like out of this Lakota West team here tonight is that one's dropped out of bounds to bring up third down. In the last couple of weeks, they have had shutouts and incredible offensive performances and just had really great games overall. But, there were definitely some mistakes.
Be roughing the passer. Looks like that was on number 10, Yassian Salam, the Firebirds right there. He just came in a little bit late on the quarterback and knocked him down. So that'll be a first down for Oak Hills to get bailed out right there.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for them. But as I was saying, it's just like when you look at this tonight, they really have not made any mistakes outside of that fumble from Wiles. They've played incredible pretty much this entire game. And, against, Levi Simpson and Sycamore, there were some plays that Sycamore, if they capitalized on, we might be talking about a little bit closer of a game. Just wasn't able to, as Supe takes that one himself. Get a nice gain of yards before he's taken down for a gain of a few to bring up second down.
But Oak Hills, next week or the next 2 weeks, they have some pretty tough matchups. First they travel against Fairfield, and that Fairfield offense with Tyler George and Dominique back, definitely one of the better offenses in the GMC. We saw them against West. They played pretty well, in that game, but they, unfortunately came up short. West dropped 50 points on them. And then Oak Hills, their last game of the season, they play at home against Lakota East. So Lakota East going to be having the same sort of travels here. After that huge game against West, they'll finish off their season here against Oak Hills. But that West-East game is just going to determine so much in terms of the GMC landscape and really just the landscape of the playoffs in general. That is going to be such a massive game between the two rivals.
Yeah, and we see here, thanks to Lakota East Broadcasting for delivering us these, but they have a live update, currently winning 48-6 in the third quarter, so another domination from that offense. Jamison Kitna, he's been incredible this year. There's no other way of saying it, as Supe tries to take it himself. Fights back a defender, going to get wrapped up at about the 48 inside Lakota West territory. Nice run by him to move the chains.
Yeah, great run there from Supe. You could tell he wanted to get something bigger, but there was not much there. Still a nice spread run. And just, unfortunately for Lakota West, not able to take him down sooner, but a good job there by Oak Hills as they move past the 50-yard line. How many times have we said that tonight? Not really sure. It's been too many. As Oak Hills tries to get some points on the board here. Supe dropping back. He's looking for a man. He's got a man. He overthrows him. Wait, it's intercepted!
By Lakota West going the other way. These second strings putting on a strong performance tonight.
What a play there. He looked like an overthrow. Looked like it was just going to be an incompletion. But the play made right there, unbelievable. He overthrew it, and it landed right in the hands of the corner. Lakota West makes another strong defensive play, and that sets up just a tough tough moment there for Oak Hill's Taji Jones. Jaden Stanley there with the interception. An amazing play right there for the Firebirds.
What a play by Jaden Stanley, making his impact. I mean, when you're looking into next season, you definitely have a nice backup corner right there for Jaden Stanley. And, you know, it's going to be a rough time for Oak Hills. I mean, they finally got into that. They broke that plane into Lakota West territory, just weren't able to capitalize. You mentioned that overthrow. I'm not sure if it was an overthrow or an underthrow. Nevertheless, it is West ball as Kenyon Norman takes that one upfield and gets a gain of about 1 there.
But, yeah, just a great play. Ball hawking right there and able to come up with the interception and breathe new life into this West second-string defense. And now for this offensive West, I really want to see Jackson Smith get something going. I mean, obviously, this is the offense we're going to see a lot more of next year with Jackson Smith at the helm. And, you know, with other returning guys such as Kenyon Norman, Braden Johnson, that's going to be a very dynamic offense still. Even with losing Wiles, Gilbert, you know, Barnett, a lot of those guys, they're still going to have Tyson Davis, Kenyon Norman, Braden Johnson, so they're still going to be definitely an elite offense in the GMC as Jackson Smith takes off with his legs. He's got a lane. He's still running. He's still going.
To the 30-yard line. Sam Wiles, you know, you might have competition for running quarterback on this team. That is a great play by him. You saw him go through those progressions and then find the man downfield.
Yeah, Jackson Smith, his height makes him much more able to see the pocket through and make sure he knows who he's throwing to, but it also allows him to escape the pocket, and he did that just there, escaping the pocket, going through his progressions, and eventually getting down the field inside the 30 as he gives it off here.
Norman up the gut. He's got room to run down to that 20, I would say 26-yard line to move the chains. Great play from Norman. He has been an impressive backup to Braden Johnson. Whenever they need that extra spark, he's coming in and got it.
Kenyon Norman continuing to show off his explosiveness. He's tough to bring down, and right there, showing it again as this third quarter nears its end with just under a minute to go, but Jackson Smith trying to punch them into the end zone for another score of Lakota West.
So Smith lines up. He's got Norman to his right. Snap. Gives it to Norman. Norman finds the hole. Not much there as that'll bring up second down and long.
And you can tell Lakota West trying to get Norman involved much more here.
We'll bring Xavier Radica in. We'll see if there's a designed run play. Maybe get him in as an extra blocker.
Yeah, Xavier Radica, just a big tight end there. He's very tall. Also plays for Lakota West basketball, so he's going to be an integral part of that team as well. But right here, coming in as a tight end, making his presence known, definitely going to be one of those guys to look forward to next year as he'll probably delve into that starting position that Luka Gilbert, you know, held this year.
Yeah, they have no worries once Luka leaves. Lakota West will let the clock wind off. We are entering the fourth quarter here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting. It is 45-0. Lakota West looking to drop another 50 bomb to add to their collection. So here we go. It is 45-0. Andrew, you mentioned you can't let this be a trap game, and I would say they haven't tonight. As that one goes to Norman, not much there to bring up third down.
Third down for the Firebirds here. Love to see you get something off the edge. Oak Hills has held up those trenches pretty well here. Maybe get a read option or something. As the Firebirds here, a lot of depth in there. Jack Borello, that senior tight end, getting some playing time.
All three of those tight ends have been pretty incredible. If it's not pass catching, which none of them, obviously Luka Gilbert has done his role, but all three of them just incredible blockers down low. Jackson Smith is going to need it. We'll see if he tries the pass option or sticks with the run. He'll take it himself, and a Highlander defense is all over it as it's going to force a fourth down. And now what do you do, Andrew? Do you run up the score, or do you get some hype for Jackson Smith, or do you just play the conservative option and just put this one up?
Well, it looks like Bolden's answering my question for me right now. I think he's keeping the offense on the field here, and they are going to go for this here. Looks like they will. It'll be a 4th and 5
substitution.
I think you got to have confidence in Jackson Smith's ability to make a throw right here.
I think that really, if you're up 45-0 and you're going for it, you gotta have it for a reason. So I really hope they'll throw it here. I think that would be incredible. As he will. Play action. Smith, he's got a man. Borello, that's a first down, not a touchdown, but that is enough to bring up a new set of downs.
Oh, so close for Jack Borello to get into the end zone. I mean, he had the catch, but just not able to get. Still a 4th down conversion. You'll absolutely take it, but would love to see Jack Borello get in the end zone there. He's been one of those guys that's been so dedicated to his team, and you'd love to see him getting playing time, but you'd also love to see him get in the end zone right there.
I know Borello's thinking, man, it'd be awesome to get that touchdown of this season. I believe that would have been his first. As that one's to Norman, and he'll say, thank you, Borello. That one is mine. That is another touchdown for this offense. So they will get another 50-point game. I believe that's 4 straight weeks of it.
Wait. Let's think about this for a second.
Middletown.
The Fairfield game, Middletown, Coleraine, Sycamore, and now Oak Hills. 5 straight 50-point games for your Lakota West Firebirds.
So when you head into the year, you score 17 against Xavier, obviously a great game against Hamilton, and then just 6 against Princeton, probably the most frustrating game of the season, more like definitely the most frustrating game of the season. Must feel great to score 50 points in 5 straight performances. This is the best offense and defense in the GMC. Friday Night Lights, you are watching live here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting. So as we return, we were just talking about how it's 52-0. That is 3 straight. Obviously, if no one else scores, that's 3 straight games of 52-0, which is, I'm not sure if that's more obscure or just incredible. I mean, that is a lot of offense.
A lot of offense and also a lot of defense. These past 3 games, no points allowed. 0, none, nil. Literally, absolutely 0. Nada. Nothing. anything you
How
want to
far
call
can
it.
we go?
I mean, just
Truly incredible. I mean, they're already first in each, and it's just going to go even farther. And you don't even have to. I mean, it looks easy out there. When we've been playing the last few weeks, every time I see it, I look up and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's 35-0. It's 42-0. It doesn't matter because it just feels so effortless. The last 5 or so weeks, every time we play, every single game, it has just been so easy for this offense.
And I think it's good to prepare like this for when you do play East. Kamani Smith, a great hit on the outside there to force the incompletion. But when you do play that game against East, when you are going to play against a team that's higher level of competition than these past 3 games have been, you're going to be able to adapt to that game. And I think Lakota West, with the way they've been playing, they head in that game, I think they have a lot of confidence. East obviously having their best year in a long time with John Kitna, JT Kitna, but Lakota West knows who they are, and they know how to beat East. They've shown it very well ever since Bolden has been head coach of this team.
So we'll see if Max Soup can change this 52-0 score. It is not easy with this defense. I cannot find a weakness. Before I thought it was the run game, but as you saw there's not much. I mean, they're still second in the GMC. They're averaging less than 80 yards, I believe, per game on that end. And then just looking across the board, 6.9 points per game, which is going to go down. All these are probably going to go down after this performance. So 6.9 points per game allowed, 62 passing yards per game allowed. That is insane. 82 rushing yards per game and just 145 total yards per game allowed. That it does not get much better than that, and it does not get better than that here in the GMC.
Yeah, Lakota West at the top of their class, and it just seems unreal to me that this team lost the game. This team that we're watching today has lost the game this year. Doesn't feel real to say because of how good they've been. Nice catch there on the sideline there. A good throw from Supe. And it'd be a nice conversion there for the first down for Sifo Mukwanzi right there as Oak Hills gets a first down right there. And, they've been few so far this game, but a nice confidence builder right there.
And talking about that pass defense, every single game we go in, we mention these big guys, and on the ground game. Let's talk about a guy like Mukwanzi. I mean, he has been one of the best in the GMC. I think that's his first or second catch as he goes deep. Supe looking, flags fly. I think that's going to be pass interference on the Lakota West defense, but
looks like it was Kamani Smith in coverage there.
Lucky break for Max Supe in this offense, but they've done a great job of limiting the top receivers in the GMC. It doesn't matter, Reese Mason, Joel Drake, whoever it is playing on that outside, they have done their job.
They have done their job, and I mean, for a lot of teams, West's entire second-string team would probably, be some of the best players on those teams. I mean, it's just insane how much talent West has. It's just above everyone else in the GMC, and I think if they do get a second chance against Princeton, the outcome would be much different with how they've been playing as of late. I think Princeton caught them at a bad time where West was kind of, they had played 2 tough opponents beforehand against Hamilton and St. X, and I think West kind of came into that game kind of, very exhausted after those tough matchups, and Princeton kind of caught them at a bad moment. But with how hot they've been, I think that if Princeton caught West in their stride, it would not be the same outcome.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that Hamilton win just keeps looking better and better. What they did to Princeton, that was more than shocking. I have never seen a loss like that. I thought Princeton, they beat us. I think we're pretty good as you can see here tonight, but that beat down on Princeton, it was incredibly shocking to me. And that win 31-0, shutting out that team is incredible. As that one goes up the middle to Brawninger, but that's going to bring up a new set of downs for the Highlanders.
Let's see if Oak Hills can get some points on the board here. First points in 3 games against the Firebirds. If Lakota West can get a stop here, though, that would be most likely another donut for the opposing team against the Firebirds on the scoreboard.
And I know that the whole defense, but especially the starters, they're saying, hey, you guys better get a stop here. You're not trying to take away our third straight donut. We better get another stop to limit the defense. But with the kicker they have, I think they might as well just try to limit them to a field goal, as Supe has a great protection, plenty of time, but he's just going to throw that one away. And looks like he did have a man on the sideline, but it is going to be incomplete.
Yeah, and, I think Lakota West is definitely – they've shown what their strengths and weaknesses are. But comparing this team, I don't like comparing this team to past teams, but you do kind of make a lot of comparisons to that 2022 team. And I think when I look at both of those rosters and both of those teams and how they played, honestly, I'm not sure that I would take the 2022 team over this team. I mean, you look at how well-rounded this team is with, the quarterback position, the running back position, the offensive line, and the receivers. Everywhere this team is stacked. And even on the defensive side of the ball, they're probably more stacked. That D-line is something that haunts opposing teams in nightmares. And then the linebacking core compiled with, the corners. There's just so much talent all across the board here. Well, I do think Lakota West in 2022 was an amazing team and one of the best teams of all time for the Firebirds. I do think this team does draw a lot of similarities and can make a similar type of run to that team.
Yeah, I would say I was thinking about it, but I think I'm convinced after what we've seen tonight, this team, I think they would be better than that 2022 team, which is saying so much with how good they were. But it's really hard to compare, as that was a nice throw over the middle, and Max Supe breaks the barrier. Touchdown for the Highlanders. Lakota West played incredible defense, but the drought against this defense is finally over. If you're the Highlanders, I think you got to call that a success. The fact that you even scored is pretty impressive on a defense like Lakota West.
Yeah, and you love to see it for these guys to come in and get a score on the board. It feels kind of sour when you walk off the field and there's just no points for your team. But for Oak Hills, it's great to see them get some points on the board. And, from, an unbiased perspective, this is definitely a good moment to see for the Highlanders.
I don't think I've heard the band or the student section any louder than after that one. So it is 52-7, 1 minute left. I would imagine Lakota West sticks to putting this one away with a few kneel downs, and this one should be wrapped like a birthday present. We'll see you for those final plays here on Lakota West Student Broadcasting. As we return, it is 52-7. Lakota West has been putting on a clinic these last few weeks. But after looking at the past, let us look through the future, as that one is a very low kick picked up by Lakota West. This team, they have been incredible all season, and that was their easy stretch of games. Middletown is pretty good, but Coleraine, Sycamore, Oak Hills, those are the bottom feeders. You could check this one down as a win. And then next up, we've been mentioning it all game. You got that game against Lakota West. That is going to be, against Lakota East. Thank you for correcting me, Andrew. It is going to be a thriller, and then Mason is never going to be an easy task.
Yeah, I think those last two games are really going to define how we view this Firebirds team, because you're really looking at that. Those should be 2 wins for the Firebirds when you look at how they've played this season. But anything is possible. They've got to stay strong, and they can't look ahead to the playoffs when they play those games, and I don't think they will going up against their rival, Lakota East.
Only time will tell. Your score is 52-7. Clock hits 0. You see the players coming out into the field. Lakota West confidence is up. We will be back and live tomorrow for Lakota West Girls Soccer Senior Night versus Anderson. We thank you for tuning in. I am Nico Stonework. Alongside me is my color analyst, Andrew Odell. We will see you tomorrow and then East next week here on Lakota West Student Broadcast.